Hello, welcome to the I Just Reddit channel. Today we have a story about a woman who found out about her husband's infidelity from the other woman. After that, we have a story about a woman who moved to be closer to her boyfriend and ended up alone in a strange city without him. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This story is titled, Found Out About Cheating Husband from the Other Woman. Hello. My husband and I are in our 30s, no kids, no real plan for kids, both are hesitant for similar reasons such as COVID, unstable world, etc. Both of us have pretty good jobs. We have been married for 5 years and started dating 10 years ago. My love language is acts of service and my husband's is physical touch, affection. He definitely satisfies my needs and speaks my language. He cooks, cleans, brings home the bacon, makes sure I'm happy, safe, protects, fights for me, etc. I thought I fulfilled his needs as well, but I would learn that I was very wrong. He was the light of my life and I thought I was his. 2 weeks ago, I was going about my life normally when I receive a sealed packet in the mail. I wasn't sure what it was and to my horror, it was a letter from a woman I never knew existed, the other woman. She detailed the multiple encounters, approximately 5 times, from 2 years ago with my husband and gave me exact dates, business trip dates, and also shared multiple text receipts, screenshots from 1 year ago. I was shell-shocked, to say the least. In the letter, she stated that my husband had lied about being single, said he did not have a wedding ring, said he lied about his job and other personal details. After a bout of sexting, she got suspicious and found him on social media and was horrified to see that he was married to me the whole time. She said she had already told my husband that she had found me and was going to tell me everything. After a decade with this man, I will honestly tell you that I never thought he would cheat on me. Never. I really feel like a fool. After reviewing the letter fully, I literally went up to my husband and asked in the softest voice, "Did you have an affair?" He looked down and told me yes. He is of course deeply regretful of his actions and he tells me it was partly that I didn't fulfill his sexual needs at the time. He knelt on his knees and cried and said he loves me and can't lose me. However, I don't know what to believe. These last couple of weeks, my husband has continued to be the best husband, being loving and considerate in every way possible. If I didn't know about the affair, I swear I wouldn't have had a clue. I'm scared of my own actual cluelessness. Divorce seems overwhelmingly painful right now. Please help, any advice is welcome. This is my first post ever and I'm sorry for any mistakes in the post. Comment 1. He had absolutely no plan on telling you. He has continued to act like everything is normal to cover up all of his lies. He isn't sorry for his actions, he is sorry he got caught. He made that clear by blaming you. Think about your future and if you can be with someone who has lied and deceived you. Don't waste your time if the answer is no. Get a divorce attorney and start your journey to heal. Comment 2. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. Comment 3. If you stay, you'll never be able to trust him. This is already a toxic situation to be in. Emotional abuse is also abuse. As far as the best husband ordeal he is doing, he is love bombing you. It is very hard to leave someone when they are on the best behavior with you and this is exactly what he is hoping to do with you. And I agree with the comments above, this is the only affair you know of. I am sure there have to be more women and more heartbreak to follow if you stay with this man. Divorce might seem painful in the short term but you'll be free of this misery once you leave. My mother never got the courage to leave, my deadbeat father is now sleeping with a girl my age. And I have a year-old stepbrother thanks to that. Please leave. Comment 4. He didn't tell you even with her threat to out him. He lied to you and her. He even blamed you for causing him to cheat. What makes you think this is the only affair? He tried to cover his tracks by being Mr. Nice Guy. He seems addicted to lies, sex, and the thrill of getting away with it. I would start the divorce process and tell him that his lack of confession makes you doubt his remorse and resolve to fix your marriage. He might come clean and you could be the exception. I would wish that you could fix your marriage, but if he doesn't tell you about all of his affairs and own them by his own volitional choices, I don't think there is hope. Comment 5. He is, of course, deeply regretful of his actions. Yes, right, and the Pope is a Mormon. He even then went on with the Cheater's Handbook classic, it's your fault. You've got a live one there op. He won't change. He can't change. This is who he is. There will be at least one other affair partner as we speak. All cheats are very good at the regret phase of cheating. They do beg and plead. Cry, oh yes. Real tears. But they don't mean a single word of it. Basic requirement for a cheat. Someone to cheat on. That is where you come in op. That is how you feature in his life. Big girl's pants on now, you know what you've got to do. Good luck. This story is titled, Found Out My Boyfriend Has Been Cheating on Me for 3 months after I just moved 6 hours away from home so that I could be closer to him. This is going to be a long one. Meet 19 female and him 26 male have been together since early last year. Everything was amazing. We worked together and had known each other for a while before we started dating. We clicked perfectly, had the same goals in life, had the same interests. Within a week he told me he was going to marry me, and after a few weeks we were planning a future. Where we wanted to live, what we wanted to do. Might seem fast, but we already knew each other extremely well before we started dating. We were basically living together right away. Always at his and his parents' house after work and overnight, watching videos and making blueprints of how we were going to make our off-the-grid life work. He always had a dream of working in a certain field. In August, he interviewed and got the job 8 hours away at a company where one of his friends works. I supported him through everything, was sitting right next to him through the interview cheering him on, traveled with him to celebrate. In September, I helped him choose all of his furniture and took a week off of work to help him move there. We made a plan then that I would come visit the week before Halloween. Everything was great. The distance was hard, more so for him, but we were making it through. After I visited, we didn't get to make a plan as to when we would see each other next. Maybe that was a mistake. During the months that we didn't see each other, he made it increasingly clear that the distance was getting harder from him. Each time I would offer to fly or drive up the next day, but he would say no. I finally told him that I would be moving closer to him, and to go to school. In mid-December, I moved to a city 2 hours away from him. He was supposed to drive down for his birthday, but said something came up at work so he wouldn't be able to have any weeks off. Then I said I would visit after Christmas. He said okay. We get to around that time, and he says it's a bad idea because he's stuck at work again and it wouldn't make sense for me to come. I believed him, mainly because he ended up hating his dream job. They were understaffed, he was overworked, so I believed the excuses. Then a week ago, he says he's coming to visit this weekend. Saturday to Monday. But from the moment he got here, something was off. He sounded scared when he called me to tell me he was here. He gave me back something I had given him when he moved, saying that we should give it back and forth whenever we see each other. He had changed the background on his phone to a random picture of something from work. Everything felt forced, the sex felt forced, and everything was off. Monday he took a long nap. We had a huge amount of trust for each other, so we had access to both of our phones. So I look at his phone, and see texts between him and one of his coworkers. He had told me about this coworker, 22 female, in November. How she lived in a super cool place, and that he was going to visit, and how him, her, and one of her friends went on a trip to a nearby city. I had been happy for him, I trusted him, and I was happy he was making friends. I didn't think he would ever cheat, as he had been cheated on in a 4-year relationship before. He was talking to her about all the things we would talk about. He was planning the same future with her that he did with me. Said that they were the perfect match for each other. How beautiful she was. He never said he loved her, but I could tell he probably did. Then I found a text from her saying that he should get in a relationship if he wants to settle down. She didn't know about me. Me and her were the same person. Same interests, same personality. She was just more accessible. I took pictures of everything, and waited for him to wake up. When he woke up, I told him he was cheating on me. He denied it twice until I mentioned her by name. He said they had been seeing each other since a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. That they saw each other outside of work 2 to 3 times per week. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. She would come over to his apartment, where his roommate, friend also lives. His friend knew about me, and knew she was coming over. Never said anything to boyfriend, or her about it. I told him he had to tell her. Had to do a myriad of things if he ever wanted even the possibility of another chance. He cried on my bed for hours while I drilled him. He said he didn't deserve another chance. I asked him if he loved me, he said yes. I asked him if he loved her, he said no. I didn't know how involved the relationship with the other girl was. The morning after, I texted her telling her who I was, and asking if she wanted to talk. We ended up on the phone together for over an hour. Turns out after he left, he called her, and lied about it all. He said that him and I weren't actually dating, that I just thought we were. She asked him if he loved me. Well, yeah, she asked him if he had sex with me this weekend. Only once, wasn't once. She told him, well then you guys were definitely dating. He sent her paragraphs of texts begging for her forgiveness, saying that he couldn't not have her in his life, promising that everything he said about wanting a future with her was true. I learned that they hadn't just been hooking up, they had been going on multiple dates per week. He always complained about not having enough money, while the whole time he was just spending it on her. He had lied to her about every little thing. Stupid things, like that the tent he brought on a backpacking trip this summer was an ex's, it was mine. How proud he was of setting up his room and choosing and building everything himself. I was there and helping for all of that. I learned that he had treated her like shite, taking out all of his frustrations on her, and pressuring her for sex before they had even hung out the first time. He refused to officially ask her to be his girlfriend. He told me that was out of respect for me. She had actually broken up with him a couple weeks ago because she was tired of it. Before he visited this weekend, he told her he wanted to talk after he got back. She thought he was just going to apologize for treating her like shite. Instead, he was visiting me to hopefully break up, and then try to get her back after telling her the truth. He constantly lied about why I couldn't visit, or what he was doing. He said that he was alone for Thanksgiving, and disappeared for half the day, telling me he had taken a nap. She was there the whole time. Said I couldn't come up for New Year's because he had work both days. She was there all day and all night. After talking to him on the phone for a few hours last night, I got him to be at least 99% honest with me. He said he didn't want to try again with me. He couldn't deal with the distance and needed someone to always be here. He said he still cares a lot about me, but hasn't loved me in over a month. I'm just empty and lost. I'm in disbelief that this happened. My world came crashing down in a matter of hours. I lost the person I thought I was going to spend my life with. I don't know anyone in this city, or this entire state. My closest friends are over 6 hours away. I'm completely alone. I can't function. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't drink. I can't focus. I don't know how I'll ever be able to recover from this, or trust anyone ever again. Any advice, stories, or help is appreciated. Comment 1. Hopefully he ends up with neither of you. What a jerk. Could have told you before you move. Did the exact same thing someone did to him so he knows the emotional pain. Block him and focus on yourself. So the things to start improving your life, one day at a time. Eventually, you'll find happiness again. Comment 2. Okay, here's the thing, this guy was toxic as hell and would have been a selfish partner in the long run. He wants what he wants, and when he wants it, he must have it. No grown and mature person ready for all the things he talked about would do what he did. He talked a good game, but when the going got tough, and it always does in long-term relationships, he took the selfish way out. The good news. You're 19, darling, the world is your oyster and you can now do whatever the hell you want. Take this as a lesson learned and remember to always trust your gut and instincts. Now you know what the red flags are and will be more careful with yourself. You got this, girl. Comment 3. I'm very sorry that you had to go through a relationship like that. To be honest, this guy is a scumbag and you can't let him dominate your life and happiness. As amazing as he might have seemed at the start, there are other potential partners will do right by you, not just in the short term but the long run. I hope you find the strength to be your best version of yourself again. Stay strong. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.